This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. Dave, we have a lot of fun in here during the breaks. The A's are going to the playoffs. The Yankees beat the Rays last night 4-1 to help the A's clinch that postseason berth, their first since 2014. But then for good measure, the A's beat the Mariners 7-3 at Safeco Field. They are back at it again tonight. The A's and Mariners are. We'll have the first pitch for you right here at 7:05. Pregame's at 6:45. You can hear that on Sports 1140. The Steelers beat the Bucs 30-27 in Tampa to wrap up Week 3 of the NFL season. And Jimmy Butler wants out of Minnesota. He has declined Tom Thibodeau's attempts to get him to return to the Timberwolves for the preseason. He is still seeking a trade and will leave in free agency after this season. That's according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. It's 8:02 and time to visit StocktonHonda.com anytime, anywhere.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
Matt Barrows will join us in just a second. Good conversation on the NFL in the last segment, and we will get to our Media Day stuff with the Sacramento Kings at 8:35. While we wait on Matt, I'll clean up some of these text lines here on the Jiffy Lube text line at 441140. I also want to remind you, Jiffy Lube and the Sac Republic bring you our video simulcast. Just go to KHTK.com, top right hand if you're on the desktop, right there. And if you're on a tablet or phone, right there towards the middle. Watch, say hi, and tweet us using the hashtag Drive1140. Your tweet could, in fact, get on the air.
Want to shout out Annalie down in our promotions department.
Annalie.
She's helping us out with some cutouts and some props for the show.
Good.
It's going to be really, really great.
We have fun things planned.
Hey, can I, real quick before you do that thing you're going to do with the text line, can I run by a question?
Please.
Have you seen the coffin challenge?
I have not seen the coffin challenge.
ABC7 tweeted this out last night. Could you stay in a coffin for 30 hours straight? If so, you may have a chance to win $300 plus other prizes, including the coffin.
Okay, hold on here. How do you pee? Or
I believe you get one potty break per hour.
Okay, so you're not staying in the coffin for 30 hours.
Participants get one bathroom break every hour with free meals served inside. Phones are allowed and chargers will be provided.
Oh, I could 100% do that.
Anyone who gets out of their coffin for any reason, with the exception of the designated bathroom breaks, will be out of the contest.
My only other question would be, is there some sort of, am I allowed to have a fan or some form of ventilation so I don't get too hot?
Right. Someone said one toot and they're out of there.
Which talk about hot boxing.
Yeah.
Well, if it's your own brand. Here's the deal.
Here's what you, quick, let me let you know what you win.
No.
$300 for 30 hours.
Well,
2 2019 gold passes to Six Flags St. Louis.
Okay.
A Fright Fest prize package including 2 VIP haunted house passes.
Okay.
A ticket for 2 to ride the Freak Train for Freaks Unleashed, obviously, and the coffin. That's right. The handcrafted coffin is yours to keep.
I'm telling you, I'm not even being. I could do that.
No chance for me, dude.
Oh, 100%.
As soon as they close that coffin, I'm out.
Nah.
I'm so claustrophobic. The second I tried to move my arms and couldn't move them past like 3 inches from my side, I would Kill Bill my way out of there.
If I'm allowed to, I like the. That's with the little 3 finger. Yeah. I like. Hold on. Put your headphones back on. We'll get to Matt because this is important. When I used to live in Minnesota, they have basements, in the Midwest, and some out here, but my point stands. And in that basement, they had something called a cedar room where you'd put like clothes. It was basically a room instead of mothballs that you'd put stuff in to store for the wintertime. And there was only one bedroom. I was living with my brother and his soon-to-be wife, and I actually put a mattress in that cedar room. That's where I slept. It was complete darkness. It was completely insulated from sound. Would I enjoy being in a coffin for 30 straight hours? No. I'm telling you right now, as long as I was able to have bathroom breaks, eat, drink water, and there was some sort of ventilation, so it wasn't 130 degrees in there. As long as it was climate controlled enough and comfortable, oh, dude, I would actually, it would be like a mini vacation. No kids. I'd be watching Netflix.
I'm trying to figure out how you would eat laying down.
I would probably
tough.
prop my head up.
Like you would have to.
Maybe
But how much room do you have?
Yeah, it'd have to be a
and it says meals
coffin.
served to you. Do I get chicken fingers from inside the park? Because if so,
sure.
Give that to me.
Maybe roll onto my side.
And how long? I'm guessing. So the bathroom break must not count towards your time. You get a bathroom break. So if you take a bathroom break at 7:00, and you come back at 7:05.
Yeah, what if it's a rough one? Where you need to get 10, 15 minutes for gravity.
So you come back at 7:15.
Sure.
Is your next hour is not set until 8:15?
Probably, because otherwise I'm telling them I got to poop every hour so I can get 15, 20 minutes. So, yeah, let's say that time's taken away.
And you figure you'd sleep for a few hours.
Absolutely. I'd sleep for more.
Except I can't sleep on my back. Ugh.
What I would do, you can go on your side in the coffin. You can totally go on your side. What I would do is I would go. Huh?
Such working knowledge of how you.
Oh,
can
dude, I've
been
been in coffins before. No, I'm serious. I've been in coffins before.
Yes,
I've been. You've never sat in a coffin? Oh, dude, you've never laid down in a closed coffin? It's a cool experience, man. I'm dead serious. No, well, okay, pun intended. Yeah, you think about it. The coffin is higher than it. You can totally roll on your side. It's not like it's touching you, except on the bottom. Yeah, it's close quarters. Yeah, close that sucker up. Bring it here. I'll tell you what. And you give me that coffin. You put a Sacramento Kings logo on that thing, and I'm going to use that sucker. I'm putting it in storage till the day I die, and I'm going to get buried in a Sacramento Kings coffin so they can let me down one last time.
Hey, there's a joke.
Thank you. All right, Matt's ready. It's your fault, Kyle. Oh yes, I could do that. Find somebody out here that I'll absolutely do that. I would not sleep the whole night before. I'll tell you right now, the first 8-9 hours in that coffin's going to be me crashed. I wake up, I got 21 hours. Great. I'm going to catch up. I'm going to binge watch Ozark. Finish up Stranger Things. Maybe go back to season 10 of Supernatural. That was a good one. Maybe watch a couple ball games. I'm gonna order all kinds of food. Man. Contest. That sounds like, can you enter a contest to win the grand prize of being able to be served food in a coffin for 30 hours? Can that actually be the grand prize? I'll enter. What do I have to do to be able to be in a coffin for 30 hours without my wife and kids bothering me and eat and watch television?
What if you start coughing in the coffin?
In the coffin? Well, I'm coughing in a coffin. Don't get me wrong. I'm claustrophobic, but that's like a comfortable.
I'm highly.
That's like a fetal thing. Like I'm enclosed. I'm safe.
Weird.
Matt Barrows from The Athletic. I'll ask Matt Barrows right now. Matt, Kyle's talking to me about this contest in St. Louis, which, by the way, I love how you referenced ABC 7, Kyle, like I'm supposed to know where that is.
It just said ABC 7.
Anyways, Matt, the contest is, as long as you had, you can use your phone, a tablet, you can watch Netflix, whatever. You get food, you get bathroom breaks, all that. But could you last 30 hours in a coffin for fun and prizes? How long do you think you could last in that coffin before you had to get out?
Oh, I call that a Sunday in the off season.
Thank you, Matthew Barrows. We are I was telling him, where can I enter a contest where the grand prize is not being bothered while I'm in a coffin watching TV and eating chicken wings?
Yeah, that actually sounds ideal to me. Where do I sign up?
Thank you.
In St. Louis.
wait, are you talking about ABC 7 in St. Louis?
Yes.
They do a great job over there in St. Louis.
Matt Barrows.
Local news connoisseur Matt Barrows joins us.
Hey, by the way, I should make a public apology before we get into this 49er stuff. And boy, yet again, another public apology for me. Matt, you may or may not remember, I know you do a lot of radio shows, but when I was bringing you on last week, I had made mention that The Athletic is just grabbing so many phenomenal writers, and I mentioned our good friend Sam Amick, your former colleague.
Sure, yeah.
That was going to The Athletic. Well, I found out a little bit later. In fact, I already knew this, but I forgot that the only thing wrong with me saying that on the air last week is that it hadn't been announced yet. So I actually, even though Damon Stoudemire said something.
It's Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard, dude.
What'd I say?
Damon Stoudemire, that's twice now.
You
said that last week.
I know, dude. Matt,
Man, I think you need that coughing time just to sort of repair the old noggin. Get the gray matter right.
I have a couple of ticks. One of them is David and Derek Carr. Damon Stoudemire and Damian Lillard is another. Somebody said it, and then I ended up going on the air with it, which I shouldn't have done. So I apologize, Sam, who did announce it, by the way, officially yesterday, and just makes you guys over The Athletic that much more strong as great writers are showing up there each and every day at theathletic.com.
Yeah, Sam is one of my good friends. He's fantastic. So I was very psyched about that news, about that hire.
Matt, I don't know if you've covered this much. Jimmy Garoppolo out for the year. Torn ACL. It might have come up.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Might have come up in one of your articles. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody else. Couldn't be worse news, obviously, I guess there's technically worse news, but you get my point. It's an absolute horrific blow to the 49ers in their season. Kyle and I have been talking about it for 2 days. I'm going to ask you straight out, and I know it's complicated, but is the 49ers season, as far as competing, effectively over in your mind?
No, I mean, as far as competing, remember what the scenario was last year when C.J. Beathard was in. They were in games. They lost a lot of them by, one score or less. So, I mean, it's just an improvement here or there. Now, they haven't been to a point where they could be winning with C.J. Beathard. They haven't performed well under Jimmy Garoppolo. So everything has to improve, and that's one of the frustrating parts, is that things that should have matured in the last year, a big one being the defense, and, hey, tackling, have gotten worse since the end of last year. So they haven't made the necessary step where I feel like they would win even if C.J. Beathard were the quarterback. I think that's possible. I think they can make those strides. And maybe this is the shot in the arm that they need. Maybe there was a sense that, okay, we've got Jimmy Garoppolo. Everything is going to go great for us. We've got the quarterback. We've got the missing piece. He's going to put us in every game. And then there's a sort of a psychological phenomenon where you relax a little bit. And maybe with him being out, you galvanize a little bit. And everybody galvanizes somewhat. And, the collective galvanization, if you will make this team better. I do think it's possible. It's a long way of thinking. I think it's possible. They haven't been playing very well to this point, though, so that makes it a long shot.
Now, Kyle Shanahan and, of course, reporters alluded to some people that will be coming in. None of those names, well, depending on who you are, but guys like Tom Savage and that crew are not instilling great hopes. In their mind, C.J. Beathard's the guy and the guy for the rest of the year. And is it that they see something we as fans do not, or is it that, hey, this is our guy, we're sticking with him, the locker room supports him, might as well?
I think it's both. Yeah. I mean, they're still a young team. They're still a rebuilding team. They chose C.J. Beathard in the third round for this very thing. I mean, this is what their plan was, is to bring in a top-tier quarterback, whether it was Garoppolo or Kirk Cousins or whoever, and then C.J. Beathard was going to be the backup, and that they would groom C.J. Beathard over the course of 3.5 seasons, and then see where the chips fell and maybe trade him like the New England Patriots did Garoppolo for a second or third pick. From that standpoint, the plan is still solid. I mean, they've got a chance to kind of show off C.J. Beathard, allow teams to get a look at him, and then maybe in a couple of off seasons or a couple of seasons from now, they do that trade. They like C.J. Beathard because C.J. Beathard is a pocket quarterback through and through. That's what he did at Iowa. That's what he's good at. He's very strong inside the pocket. There's myriad things that he needs to work on, but sort of the essential part, the foundation of it, is that he's a tough guy, pocket quarterback that they think over time is going to develop. I mean, is he going to be as good as Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't know if the arm talent is there. I mean, Garoppolo is just able to do things naturally with the ball that not very many other quarterbacks, C.J. Beathard included, can do. But he's good, and he has the potential to be, I don't know, above average. So I think that's why they want to stick with him. The guys that they're bringing in, Savage is actually the youngest of that group at 28. The other guys are all in their 30s. So I sort of see them as sort of veteran placeholders. If Beathard got hurt at some time, they would have somebody to come in who has started a few games, who knows what he's doing, but there's absolutely no way that they see that guy as the quarterback of the future.
So maybe best case scenario, they've seen things that we haven't. He's familiar with the system. He was a rookie last year. He wasn't being protected particularly well. Expectations as far as the fan base goes seem to be so low for C.J. Beathard. I mean, Kyle and I were talking yesterday and both agreed we're looking at maybe a 4 or 5 win year. So maybe with no pressure. And again, I'm talking about the optimistic view. Beathard comes in with no pressure and does things we don't think he can do.
Yeah, I think optimistic view is that he's a little bit better than last season. The rest of the team steps forward. The second half of the season sort of skews the 49ers' way, and that they can win 6 or 7 games. I don't think that's out of the question at all. I mean, again, they were close last year with C.J. Beathard just coming out of Iowa and not really being familiar with the offense, and lots of pieces being hurt, and so on and so forth. So, there is a scenario in play where they're a little bit better than last year with C.J. Beathard, and that a little bit better turn some of those L's into W's, and they come around, flirting with the 500 season. That probably that's what their talent level suggests.
So you're talking about the Niners possibly bringing in a third emergency quarterback. I know Kyle Shanahan said they need to have a third quarterback in the building. Do you anticipate Nick Mullins being the backup for this week and then going back down to the practice squad?
Yeah, that seems to be the way it's being spelled out. I mean, there's no way you could bring in a T.J. Yates and have him ready to go for Sunday's game in Los Angeles. So I imagine that Mullins will be the number 2 for this upcoming game, and maybe even the game after that. And at some point there'll be a bit of a switcheroo, and he'll go back down to being the practice squad quarterback. I mean, C.J. Beathard took 19 sacks last year in 5 starts. So the scenario where he gets hurt is certainly not far-fetched. So the 49ers need to have these contingency plans. And this is plan B. They need a C, a D, and an E at this point because we still have 13 games yet to go.
Matt Barrows of The Athletic joining us. Matt, just to cap on that, the idea that the Niners could kick the tires on Jameis Winston or Teddy Bridgewater or another quarterback that could actually come in and do something. Do you foresee Lynch and Shanahan looking at expending draft capital or players or cap room to bring someone in, or are they going to go with Beathard and guys like the ones they're bringing in now?
Well, I can't tell the future, and I don't know what sort of disasters loom, but no, that does not seem to be in the cards right now. I mean, the letting go of a draft pick would be jeopardizing your future, and your future is with Garoppolo and Beathard. So they're going to stick to the plan right now. I mean, it's hard to see a scenario where they wouldn't. To me, the Kaepernick scenario is not as outlandish as some people say. Let's say Beathard got hurt somewhere down the road and wasn't going to play anymore. Why not go with a very similar offense to what Kyle Shanahan ran in 2012 in Washington when he had RG3? It's a very basic offense. It's one that Kaepernick could run very easily, and you've got a tailback already in Alfred Morris who's quite familiar with it and did quite well with it back in 2012. So, I mean, if it got to a disaster situation and it's around the time of the bye, I don't think that's a bad scenario at all. I mean, it becomes you want to win for your fans at some point, and not everybody would be content just to tank and go for a top draft pick. So that might be something to think about if things continue to go south from here.
I want to jump over to the other side of the ball real quick, Matt, and ask you about this defense, because you mentioned earlier that they've not played well despite playing well at the end of last year. I thought for sure getting Reuben Foster back would help with some of their tackling issues, but I think he had like 6 missed tackles on Sunday. Is that just going to be a problem for them? Is that just their personnel? Is it coaching? But their inability to tackle is a very serious problem.
Yeah, and it's coming from the players that need to be the best tacklers on the team, your safeties and your inside linebackers. It's been absolutely atrocious these first 3 games, and I chalk it up to the fact that there wasn't one live session during training camp this year. A live session is, basically a game where everybody gets to hit as hard as they can and practice their tackling. Even in recent years, there was 1 or 2 during training camp, and they usually, use the scrubs, the third stringers for it. But I mean, that's how scared the NFL, these coaches have become of injuries, and you understand the impetus behind that. But my point is that there's no tackling going on at all, really, until the regular season begins. The preseason, there's some, but those guys are in and out in a series. So I think it's going to be something where it's going to take a quarter of the season, maybe a third of the season, for these guys to really get back into the swing of things as far as learning how to tackle before we start seeing, NFL football the way it should be played.
If Jimmy Garoppolo had not gotten hurt, we'd probably be sitting here and filled some of this conversation about Richard Sherman. Jimmy G's injury obviously overshadowing Sherman's, who had come out of the box strong, calf strain. Very important to note, not connected to his Achilles, different leg. Also, I believe that was the leg he had the bone spur surgery on in the offseason.
Right.
But again,
absolutely.
So I guess, Matt, there's the on-field ramifications, but also I was doing the math, so that means I'm probably wrong, but he's missing $125,000 every game he's out in roster bonuses. He's got a $1 million incentive for playing in 90% of the defensive snaps, and $1 million for the Pro Bowl. So he could be missing out on quite a bit of money. That's got to be an interesting conversation where you have Niner doctors perhaps saying, Richard, you need to sit out another week, and Richard saying, no, I'm ready and I need to get paid.
Yeah, it could be, but he's the one who negotiated the salary. So, I would imagine that he's going to be prudent with it. I was watching him through my binoculars on Sunday, and he had to be helped off the field. 2 guys under each arm, basically carrying him off the field because he wasn't able to move into the locker room as fast as everybody else. So this seems like a pretty serious injury. It's going to take a couple of weeks, and he has pushed himself to get back, but boy, given the vicinity of where that injury is, and I know that Kyle Shanahan said it's not related to the other injuries he's had in the last year, but boy, it's all the same region. The knee bone's connected to the thigh bone, etc. If I were him, I would not push it.
All right, and then finally, Matt Breida, scary moment with him. Looks to be fine. And are we at the point where, after 3 games into the season, is it still fluky? Is it still strange? Are we sold on him yet? Or gee golly, this guy seems to be the real deal.
He seems to be the real deal. I mean, and with C.J. Beathard in there, and with the sack and pressure issues that he dealt with last year, I imagine that the 49ers are going to lean on that running game even more so than they have. So Breida, Alfred Morris become all that more important to that offense. And Breida's really a lot like those classic Mike Shanahan type of runners. He's a little smaller than Terrell Davis and Mike Anderson's back in the late 90s, early 2000s, but he does do the one cut and he's gone thing really well, and you see that in his big runs. I mean, his big runs are 20 yards plus, because once he bursts through that line, he's very, very fast. I mean, he's at this point, with Goodwin struggling with an injury and with McKinnon gone, he might be the second or third fastest guy on that team. So he's a really great fit. He's a nice home run hitter, and like I said, he's somebody that they're going to have to lean on heavily, I think, over these next 13 games.
Every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, we talk to our good friend Matt Barrows of The Athletic. Follow him on Twitter at Matt Barrows, just as it sounds. And, of course, go to theathletic.com. If you don't have a subscription, get their free trial and check it out. It's clean. It's beautiful. There's a ton of good writers. It's the best overall sports coverage you're going to get. And I'm not just saying that because Matt's on the phone. You know I've said that other times. And no, they're not paying me to say that. Go to theathletic.com, grab your subscription, and read good stuff. Matt, always fun to have you on. And I will see about getting us a couple of coffins to hang out in the off season.
Hey, I would love to, get a coffin right next to yours and just watch sports for, what was it, 30 hours?
30 hours. And they feed you. You're allowed to have your phone. They'll charge everything for you. You get a bathroom break every hour. Come on.
Every hour? My God. That's like 29 more hours than I need.
I'll check into it. Maybe we can get logos and sell it and make some money off of it.
Sounds good, Dave.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye. That's Matt Barrows. Good guy. Every Tuesday, 8:05, we'll give you your Niners lowdown. Speaking of lowdown, they'll be on noon to 3, Damian Barling and Jason Ross. And also, want to remind you, Scott Bear, our Raiders insider, will join us this Wednesday. Kyle, that's tomorrow at 8:05.
Scott Bear, Matt Barrows.
Mm-hmm. And and Thursday, this just in, found this out last night.
Oh, snap.
We're going to have a writer in studio from the PBR, the bull riding. Every year we have a bull rider come in and hang out, and we ask him all kinds of fun questions. He's going to be in studio Thursday at 8:30. We'll take a break. When we get back, Kings Media Day sound. Who won the Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly rap battle? If you don't know what we're talking
about. Just hard-hitting Kings questions for you.
Yes.
You're not going to get this kind of coverage anywhere else.
I promise you, you will not get this coverage anywhere else, for good or bad. We're back in a couple. Sports 1140 KHTK.
This is the Lowdown. The Lowdown.
Human foosball, like the big sumo suits. There's just it's going to be fun.
Okay, one more time. There's human foosball.
Yeah, so like foosball the game, but like you are the player.
Are we like handcuffed to like sticks or something?
That I'm not sure. Hopefully there's no handcuffs.
Unless you're into that sort of thing.
The Lowdown with Damian Barling and Jason Ross. Weekdays from noon to 3.
Right here.
On Sports 1140 KHTK. We do sports.
We had just gotten home from vacation, and Richie had to go downstairs to grab something out of the dryer, and he had set foot in about 3 to 4 inches of water.
Well, what happened was the pressure relief valve for the hot water heater had failed, and it just leaked water while we were gone.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
With her being pregnant, the in-laws coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world. I called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. They took care of everything, A to Z. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
See how much you could save with USAA by bundling your auto and home insurance. Get a quote today.
Ability to receive a quote depends on membership eligibility. Product membership eligibility and bundling savings restrictions apply and are subject to change. Members paid for their participation. United Services Automobile Association and its affiliate, San Antonio, Texas.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, brought to you by Robert Half, the experts in accounting, finance, IT, legal, marketing, and administrative staffing. Let's assume, for argument's sake, that Justin Rose, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, or Phil Mickelson had won the Tour Championship on Sunday. Would people still have been talking about golf hours and days later? If it wasn't Tiger Woods about to win for the first time in 5 years, could you imagine folks tuning into golf in the heart of Week 3 of NFL live action? And if Woods wasn't about to capture his 80th Tour victory, and possibly even sneak off with the $10 million FedEx Cup bonus, you think ratings would have rocketed 206% above last year's final round? In fact, thanks to a revival of Tiger Mania, Sunday's telecast was the highest rated of the entire 2018 PGA season. That man brings eyeballs to the TV set. I'm Boomer Esiason.
At Robert Half, we know finding the right employees is a job in itself, and it's a job we love. You see, Robert Half isn't just a staffing firm. We're people. People who believe in finding the right people to fit your company's needs. Because employees who are a good fit are more productive, more engaged. Finding a great candidate isn't easy, but at Robert Half, we know it's possible. Robert Half, the experts in accounting, finance, IT, legal, marketing, and administrative staffing. Learn more at roberthalf.com/radio.
You know what's not smart? The way hiring used to be. Job sites that overwhelm you with tons of the wrong resumes. Now there's a smarter way at ZipRecruiter.com/go. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the right people for you and actively invites them to apply. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. based on hiring sites rated by Trustpilot with over 1,000 reviews. And right now, my listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/go. That's ZipRecruiter.com/go.
Summer may be behind us, but the deals on Toyotas are hotter than ever. Get to your Toyota dealer now for $2,000 cash back on RAV4. Or choose Highlander and get $1,500 cash back. Plus, both come with Toyota Safety Sense and Toyota Care 2 years no-cost maintenance standard. So you'll drive worry-free. Wouldn't it be nice to take on the day in a new Toyota? Cashback is available through TMNA and must be applied to transaction. Offers end 10/1/18. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hey, Jason Ross here, and we all have financial questions. Like, what's the best way to use my tax refund? Do we have enough funds to renovate our kitchen? And are we putting enough money into our 401k? Whether you have questions about saving, spending, or anything in between, Bank of America's experienced financial specialists are here for you. Proudly serving the greater Sacramento area, so schedule that appointment at bankofamerica.com/conversation and start the conversation.
Metacars.com has big savings on over 2,000 vehicles. Easy financing for everyone. Over 7,500 4-star reviews, all in one place. Metacars.com. See why everyone is saying,
Made a great deal at Meta.
Sports 1140 KHTK's coverage of high school football is presented by Wingstop. Listen every Friday night to the Wingstop High School Football Wrap-Up Show and get all the coverage on KHTK.com.
Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The A's are headed to the playoffs thanks to the Yankees' 4-1 win over the Rays last night, but the A's, just for good measure, topped the Mariners 7-3 at Safeco Field. They're only a game and a half back of the Yankees for the top wildcard spot and the opportunity to host the wildcard game, so Oakland still has plenty to play for. They're in Seattle again tonight. We'll have that for you right here on Sports 1140. Pregame 6:45. First pitch is at 7:05. Also last night, the Steelers beat the Buccaneers 30-27 to wrap up Week 3 of the NFL season. And Jimmy Butler, the Timberwolves forward, has declined Tom Thibodeau's attempts to get him to return to the team for preseason workouts. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, Butler is seeking a trade and will leave in free agency after this season. It's 8:33 and time to visit StocktonHonda.com anytime, anywhere.
Here we go. The drive continues now.
All right, let's get to Kings Media Day. Want to thank Matt Barrows for joining us. Kyle and I were out there at the Golden One Center along with several other media members. Always good to see some familiar faces. Jason Jones was there. I saw Jim Cozumore. That was always fun. G-Man, Jerry Reynolds, Doug Christie. Everybody was out there. It's always a fun and exciting day at Media Day. Not a lot of, it wasn't very buzzy. You know, I'm sure Media Days in Boston, in L.A., obviously the Lakers, Golden State, were all kinds of crazy. This is a very mellow, you know, there's no real buzz around this team, at least nationally. And I don't think a lot locally. I was talking to somebody with the team yesterday, and they asked me about that. What are the fans saying? I think, and again, nothing's absolute. I think for the most part, people understand that the Kings aren't going to win a lot of games this year. And talking to Dave Yeager yesterday, you get the idea that the front office, whom I know the front office is very focused on playing the youth this year, and Coach Yeager are in the same spot. Now, Yeager's in a tough spot because he's only got 1 year left on his deal. And we've talked about before the possibility that we may have a whole new front office and a whole new coaching staff next year. It's just the way the NBA works. So for Coach Yeager, he's got to worry about what he's doing here, but at the same time, he's a human being. He's got a future. You know, are you worrying about your resume if, in fact, you do get canned going into another job? But he's also a professional, and he understands what this year is about. Said all the right things to Blake Ellington yesterday, and I'm going to use his article to quote some of this. He said, this is a season we're going to commit to playing even more young guys than we have in the past. Last year, we played the 6 most first- and second-year guys minutes in the last 15 years. Adding Marvin Bagley and Harry Giles as first-year guys will continue to make that number go up and up. And then when talking about Zach Randolph and Costa Koufos and the other veterans, who we know Coach has immense respect for. They're mentors, but they're also professionals, and they're competitors. They want to play too. He said, we're committing to play a lot of young guys. I'm not saying the veterans won't play, but the bigger priority is to play as many young guys as possible. I think that's pretty crystal clear. excuse me, now saying it and following through on it are different things. But I have no reason to believe that Jaeger's going to say one thing and do another. Not this year. No way. When asked what would be progress at the end of the year, he said if you come into practice at the end of January and you can't tell if we're 40-10 or 10-40, there you go. We're trying to measure developing these guys. So I was also asked a question, too. Which would you rather have happen as a Kings fan? Would you rather them lead the league in youth minutes? In other words, minutes for your 2-3-year guys and less, but only win 22 games? Or would you rather them be, let's say, 10th, 11th, 12th, but win 30? Now, this is where I think we're going to get into some arguments. For me, I'll take the 22 wins and play the youngs. Please remember, too, with the Jimmy Butler situation, the Kings being the only team in the NBA that can help facilitate that and them wanting to be involved, there's a very, very likely scenario. In fact, I would say if a Butler deal goes down, probably better than not, that one or more of Kosta Koufos, Iman Shumpert, or Zach Randolph are not going to be here at the start of the year. That's going to make it that much easier for them to play the youth, especially if they end up getting back a contract that they don't really want and stretching the guy or doing what they can, taking a payoff. So and we'll get into this deeper as we get closer to the season and get into some real actual Kings previewing. But I think we need to have very clear-cut definitions as to what is success, because I think that's going to, at the end of the year, when jobs are on the line, we have something to go back on, to be fair to them and to be fair to the fans. For me personally, yes, I'd like to see this team win ball games. I'm more concerned with seeing De'Aaron Fox take a leap. To see Willie Cauley, I actually believe Willie Cauley-Stein's going to have a very good year. It's a contract year. I absolutely believe that. I want to see Buddy Hield step up. I want to see the future in Marvin Bagley and or Harry Giles. I want to see these guys surprise some teams a few times this year. And if they end up with 20, 25, 30, 22, whatever wins, at the end of the year, I want to feel better about going into next year than I did about going into this year when it comes to wins. That's me. That's my thoughts. Now, Kyle and I went out to Media Day yesterday and had some fun with these guys. And, yeah, you got all the questions out there. You know, what do you think? What'd you work on in the offseason? What'd you do here? What'd you do that? Well, throughout this season, we're going to have some fun when we're doing giveaways. We're going to be playing Kings Trivia. So the questions we asked them were, amongst others, what's your favorite Disney movie? If you could pick one superpower, what would it be? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is a chili a soup? What's your favorite video game? Who's your favorite actress or actor? Is there something you've bought in the past that you wouldn't buy if you go back in time? And this is the timely one. We won't use this in our trivia throughout the year because it's timely. But who do you think won the Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly rap beef? They each dropped diss tracks. Now, this is highly marginalized content here. Obviously, if my dad's listening right now, he doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. But Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, or MGK for short, went at it. Machine Gun Kelly dropped a diss track, and then Eminem dropped a diss track, and it was the buzz of the whole world. Kyle, I know you were there, but I'm not sure if you could actually hear what these guys were saying. So since you couldn't necessarily hear it, I'm just going to ask you, Marvin Bagley, for example. Did he think Eminem won? Did he think Machine Gun Kelly won? Or did he not pay attention and not care?
I believe I could hear them. I don't know if you saw me nodding.
Yeah, I did.
But I'm pretty sure that Bagley said Eminem won.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it can I say, are we hiding some of the answers?
No. We're not going to use these.
Okay, so I think the consensus is, I think if we played all of these, I think the consensus is, aside from the people who didn't pay attention, it was...
Well, let's find out. Hold on. Don't give it away.
Oh.
Don't give it away. We're going to play them right now. Don't give it away. Here's Marvin Bagley.
Who, in your opinion, won the Eminem MGK beef?
Thank you.
That's a
Thank you. It's a hard question.
That is a hard one.
Yeah.
They're both good rappers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Eminem came back with some fire after the MGK diss. So I would say Eminem.
Okay, so Marvin Bagley said Eminem. Justin Jackson. Wasn't sure where he'd come down or if he'd paid attention. I actually guessed.
I think Justin Jackson definitely paid attention.
See, I didn't think he would. I actually didn't. I thought the answer would be something like, I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I was too busy working out or doing what. I don't have time for any of that. Well, he had opinions.
See, I listened to it a couple times. MGK, he came with some heat. But I think Eminem, he just holds so much more power. I think he ended up winning that thing.
Yeah.
But MGK definitely, he came out with a nice little punch. So I would say it was a close race, but I got to say Eminem probably has it.
All right, that's 2 for Eminem. It's 2 for Eminem. Harry Giles. There's a Ute. Somebody who's super young. Maybe he goes MGK.
Something I observed yesterday at Media Day that I was really trying to kind of look at things because I've never been to one of these things, and I was trying to kind of just observe maybe some different things that would offer something to the show that's different than what we're going to see. Harry Giles, tall, very tall.
Yes, he is. Also, Marvin Bagley, taller than some people gave him credit for.
Willie Cauley-Stein, also built like a refrigerator.
Yes, he is.
He is massive.
He's put on some weight, and in a good way.
Yes, he is yoked.
Who won the Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly rap battle? Here's Harry Giles.
I got to go OG Eminem, man. He always going to run it. So I know his music here to last.
Okay. Very quick, very concise. That's 3 for Eminem. How about Buddy Hield? What a Buddy Hield thought. Here's Buddy on Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly.
Who won the Eminem MGK beef?
I mean, like, it's not who won the beef.
No.
I think Eminem, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know MGK.
Oh, Machine Gun Kelly, that whole rap battle they had or whatever, that was a bit, they didn't care.
I think Eminem
He didn't.
But he didn't care. Buddy did not have an opinion.
He did say he thought Eminem won, though.
Well, he likes Eminem, obviously. He's like, I don't know MGK. What? Who?
Which is part of the Eminem diss track.
Right. Who's MGK? Finally, we'll finish with Iman Shumpert, who, like Marvin Bagley, has dabbled in the rap world. You think Iman had an opinion?
And what was funny is I was like, dude, we got to ask Shump that question. And you were hesitant.
We went through, I looked at the tape we had yesterday. It was about a 4-minute long thing, getting through all the questions.
Yeah.
When I asked him this question, we were about halfway through. This is where Iman's eyes opened nice and wide. He had opinions.
Because we only had a couple of minutes with these guys.
Right.
And you didn't want to, you were trying to pick the good questions. You didn't want to fire one off there and be like, what kind of, I don't care.
Right. We had to catch him. He was nice enough to stop. Here's Iman's answer. Who won the rap battle between Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly?
In your opinion, who won the Eminem versus MGK beef?
Ooh.
I'd say that.
Yeah, that's tough, but you know what's crazy? Okay. It's one of them things like with Bron winning the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
When he win it, it's like cool, but we not gonna react much. And I feel like technically, if he's in his prime, he wins. Because, I feel like lyrically, even though MGK clowned on him for the new generation, that diss probably hit harder. But he really didn't say nothing. He kind of was saying, like, yo, I'm a fan of you, the whole
Your beard
diss.
is weird.
Yeah, he's saying, like, you're a weirdo and, we're going to laugh at you, whatever. But he was basically saying, like, you are one of the greatest rappers.
Right.
And, like, that automatically makes him lose, technically.
Gotcha.
No. You know what I'm saying? Even though I wanted to be on MGK's team, I was like, damn, I can't believe somebody dissed him. Like, put your seatbelt on, but, I'm glad somebody got some balls around here.
Gotcha.
And then M came out with his, and it was like, I was looking around like, so y'all just going to act like y'all didn't just hear that. But it's one of them things, like I said, it's when you expect them to do it, it's like you're not really tripping. They just didn't expect MGK to say anything. So I feel like he had more of a reaction. But if you really break down the disses, it's hard to beat Eminem.
No, he killed it.
It's really hard.
Iman had thoughts.
seat.
That's about as good a breakdown as you're going to get from anybody. Whether you agree or disagree with him, that's a pretty well thought out breakdown. He put thought into that.
Highlight of media day for me was Amon Shumpert yelling at, I think it was Ben McLemore.
I forgot Ben raps too.
He was yelling at him across like the practice facility about he had a Euro step with his name on it and hide his chain. It was a lot of fun.
When we get another crack at these guys with Bagley, Shumpert, and McLemore, are we going to see any compilations this year?
I hope so.
Because if they want to make compilations, we'll play them. We'll like or spike them. We'll use them as intro and outro music.
Yeah.
And maybe that's motivation enough for them to do it. Their songs could appear on the drive. It's a big deal.
I bet they would be hyped.
We'll take a break. When we get back, what's on tap? We'll finish out the show right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
It's that time. Text the word WIN to 441140 and enter the Home Theater Company code word of the day for your chance to win a Samsung Blu-ray player. And 2 lucky winners will get brand new televisions. Listen and win all week, courtesy of Home Theater Company. Get more information at khtk.com.
So you say it hasn't happened to you yet. Well, we hope it never does. But chances are, sooner or later, your pipes will clog and you'll have a drainage problem. It's a part of home ownership that stinks. Sometimes literally, and DIY quick fixes won't cut it. Fortunately, the home service heroes at Bonnie can fly out to your house and make that big problem go away fast. Yep, in 8 out of 10 cases, Bonnie can make your drain problem go away by cabling out your drain line for just $97. And if you're the exception, you'll really be glad you called Bonnie and not some Jake with a snake plumbing and drain guy. Bonnie has the specialized cameras to diagnose your problem correctly. And our stand-up techs will show you the pictures, explain the problem, and lay out all your options. Plus, we'll fix the problem for the price quoted, guaranteed. So call Bonnie for your drain problems and we'll save the day fast. Typically for just $97. For details, go to Bonnie.com. License 696355. BONNEY, Bonnie.com.
Ram Power Days have arrived just in time for football and tailgating season. And with Ram 1500, you'll have Hall of Fame power on game day. Now, well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x2 for $249 a month for 36 months with $3,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution at least the U.S. Bank. 25% charge for each mile over 30,000. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 10/1.
You make it. 2018's most anticipated tour is coming. Jason Aldean, High Noon Neon Tour. This Thursday night, Toyota Amphitheater with special guests Luke Combs and Lauren Elena. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Jason Aldean, live.
Years of drought, millions of dead trees, extreme winds, and leading scientists say there will be even more dangerous fires in the years ahead. Our weather is changing, and we all need to work together to get ready. Hi, I'm Lisa Velis-Waweru from PG&E. At PG&E, we are accelerating our forest management work in high fire threat areas, removing dead trees and trimming vegetation back 12 feet from power lines. As part of our community wildfire safety program, we are implementing additional safety measures to further reduce wildfire risks, including a 24-hour wildfire safety operations center, new early warning weather stations, and stronger power lines in high fire threat areas. And we want to make sure you know what steps you can take, like cutting back vegetation around your home, having the right emergency plan, and signing up for safety alerts. For more information on how to keep you and your neighborhood safe, visit pge.com/wildfire safety.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
So over the last couple of weeks, I've had several trips out to Stone's Gambling Hall, located right off I-80 at Antelope. And again, amazed, just absolutely amazed every time I head into Stone's Gambling Hall. One of the nights I was there, they had a band playing great music while we were there, eating at Sammy's, having an incredible meal, also having a good time with buddies, watching games on TV. Then we made our way to the gaming, and that is one of the coolest things because they gave a $25 match play when I downloaded the app and signed up for their player's card. My buddies did the same thing. It was very simple. Keep the card, keep accruing points, keep the app, keep getting specials. It's that simple. And if you like playing card games like poker or Baccarat or California Blackjack, my personal favorite, then you owe it to yourself to go and do this. It's that easy. $25 match play, and all you have to do is download the app. Make it simple for yourself and win some money with their money. Take my word for it. Download the app, sign up, and get $25 in match play only at Stones. Again, located off I-80 at Antelope. Stones Gambling Hall, the one, the only.
Attention high school football fans. Be sure to log on to KHDK.com and vote now for the Stockton Honda Game of the Week. Listen every Friday night and get all the coverage on KHDK.com.
It's the end of the show, but it's the start of your workday. For a cold one, it's What's on Tap. Here's What's on Tap.
All right, what's on tap time? What's on your schedule today, sports-wise? The Houston Astros play in Toronto against the Blue Jays. That starts at 4 o'clock. A's fans interested in that one. The A's continue their series with the Seattle Mariners. That starts at 7:10. Brett Anderson and Mike Leake on the mounds there. The Giants take on the Padres in San Francisco. Chris Stratton and Robbie Erlin. Excuse me, man.
You doing all right?
I had something in my throat. I think I swallowed a part of a Cliff Bar wrong. I'm going to talk to Cliff after the show. My goodness. Yeah, so you got that. Hey, Kyle, remember when we talked earlier today about Jerry Jones's comments? You actually brought it up.
Yeah, I sure did. You're welcome.
Saying, hey, a quarterback.
Such a good producer.
Penalties and bloody blue.
So good at this job.
Well, hey, this is shocking. Yeah, so weirdly enough, now according to sources.
Sauces,
the NFL's competition committee is scheduled to speak on a conference call next week about the proliferation of roughing the passer penalties, according to two sources who spoke to ESPN about the situation.
Isn't Jerry Jones' kid and the COO of the Cowboys like the head of the competition committee?
What? Yeah. So there's some concern that the officials are going a bit too far with some of these calls, one of the sources said. That's such cover-your-ass crap right there. No, the officials are making the calls they were instructed to make by you. The officials are the executioner. You are the judge and the jury. If you don't want them to make those calls, and by the way, the officials don't want to make those calls, don't change the rules. Through 3 weeks, there have been 34 roughing the passer calls. Through 3 games last year, there had been 16. The league made it a point of emphasis. They made it a point of emphasis. So, that does not surprise me at all.
Can we talk about the A's real quick?
Please.
So, you mentioned they're a game and a half back of the Yankees for that first wild card spot.
They are.
And I was trying to run through and see, because with so few games left, making up a game and a half is tough, because the A's are going to have to win twice. The Yankees have one more game, so the A's would need them to lose that, and then I think the A's would have to win 2 more games than the Yankees. Because I'm not sure how the tiebreakers work.
The Yankees in Tampa Bay tonight, 4 o'clock.
So the Yankees have 3 in Tampa Bay and 3 in Boston left.
Yep. I'll tell you right now, if I'm in Vegas and I'm laying odds that the A's are going to catch them.
I'm not.
No?
Because the Rays are out of it, and the Red Sox aren't playing for anything. They have everything locked up.
All right.
So let's say the Yankees go 4-2 in that stretch. The A's would have to go 5-0.
I'm going 3-3. 3-3 for the Yankees.
Which means the A's can go 5-1.
Yeah. Against teams that are out of it.
Man.
You heard it here first.
Sorry, the A's would have to go, what did I say, 5-1, 4-1.
A's are going to catch the Yankees. A's are going to host their wild card game. You heard it here.
That'd be so awesome. I have tickets.
September 25th, 8:55 a.m. Finally, Kyle, a 20-year-old food service worker at Comerica Park in Detroit, has been charged after a video was posted online that appeared to show him spitting on a pizza intended for customers during a Tigers game.
I thought it was more of a block, but, judgment calls.
Jalen Curley of Detroit is charged with a felony count of food law violations punishable by up to 4 years behind bars and a misdemeanor count of food law violations that's punishable by up to 90 days in jail. He will be arraigned on Tuesday. Also, there is some thought amongst Niner fans, Kyle, that Taylor Swift is directly responsible for Jimmy Garoppolo's injury. Have you heard this?
No.
Yeah, she had a concert at Arrowhead Stadium. Prior to the game, they had to resod some of the turf because people were on the field.
Son of a, so she's the reason for the teardrops on my guitar.
For Matt Barrows.
That was our song.
For Kyle Madson. It's Carmichael Dave.
You're leaving a lot of blank spaces here.
We'll see you tomorrow.
These jokes are never going to go out of style.
Eunice did a wonderful job. It's not funny, Kyle. Kawhi. Kyle Y. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Jim Rome is next. Right here on Sports 1140 KHTK. Bye now.
This is the Capital City.